What is up, my listeners? Tay has something to say, but before we get into the video, please like this video at the end. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already. There are some good things in store for you guys. I appreciate those of you that have already subscribed. During this video, I'm going to be talking about self-love habits that have changed my life. And I'm really hoping that you guys take the habits that I'm going to be talking about with you today and have them change your life the way that they've changed mine. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of get into like a little bit of background about where my confidence was when I was younger, so on and so forth. So when I was young, my confidence was terrible. Especially when you get into like playing sports and different things like that, your appearance definitely becomes an issue, and it becomes something that you focus more on. I was a cheerleader and I ran track, and those are two sports to where your physical image is definitely important. So when I was in middle school, I started cheer. I had always been a dancer, but I realized that my heart was in cheer. But I've always been, you know, big boned or on the bigger side. I cheered for 5 years. I cheered throughout middle school, 7th and 8th grade, and then I cheered 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. As far as image, I really didn't start truly paying attention until 8th grade year, and that's when I started to run track. And middle school track is not as strenuous as high school track, but it was still kind of getting us ready for the high school track meets because they were much bigger. But I do remember like one of my track coaches was like, I'm so surprised that you're able to run being your size. Okay, but yeah, so that stuck with me, and that kind of like spearheaded a lot of the confidence issues that I had. When I started to get into high school and hanging around certain people, my weight started to become more of like a focus point, and I really started to beat myself down just about how I looked. And I realized that, you know, looking back now, that's just not what anybody that age should be thinking about. You have so many other things in life to be focused on, you know, building yourself up and doing what you want to do in life and living your life to the fullest, not focused so much on what you look like to please others. Because I can honestly say, looking back, I wasn't mad at what I looked like. I didn't mind what I looked like, but I realized I had been comparing myself to other people, which is something that I shouldn't have been doing at that age, or any age. You shouldn't compare yourself to anyone. You should love being the you that you are. So my confidence has not always been where it is today. I will say that throughout college, I struggled tremendously with the way that I looked. People wouldn't be able to tell that because I wore a face of happiness and unbotheredness. That's not a word, but I wore that face all the time around my friends when we went out. So nobody would really understand the battle that I was battling. I did go through an eating disorder and got worse when I was in college. And I would just be so afraid for people to see me eat, or for people to know that I had eaten. Like it was just really weird. So I went through like this really bad phase in college. And it wasn't until after college is when I realized you are a bad bitch, and you need to show everyone your bad bitchness. So that's when, you know, my confidence started to get better. I started exercising more and taking care of myself and just loving myself, loving how God created me. And I don't want to be a size 2. I don't want to be a size 4. Hell, I don't want to be a size 8. I just want to be happy, and I want to be healthy in my own skin. And that is good enough for me. So a couple of ways that I got to the place that I am today with my confidence. And of course, all women struggle with self-confidence, whether they like to admit it or not. I feel like at some point, you know, you can be confident, but there's still some things that you struggle with. You struggle to get, you know, happy about certain things about your body, or, you know, the way that you look, or the way that your hair is, or anything like that. We struggle. People struggle with different things. So I'm not saying that I don't struggle at all. I'm saying that these things, that these self-love habits that I am going to share with you guys today, helped me get to where I am. I'm going to go ahead and start off by just saying, realizing that God made me the way that I am and made me who I am really helped me to love me. Getting into the word and meditation and having a relationship with God really helps you to understand that He made you uniquely the way that you're supposed to be. And everybody's not supposed to be skinny. Everybody's not supposed to have curly, beautiful, silky hair, straight hair, whatever type of hair is popular now. But God made you for a reason. And that helped me to be like, okay, you know what? I'm me for a purpose. Like, I have a purpose in my life. So I need to start living that out and making sure that I am loving myself in the process. So that really did help me tremendously. And then the next one would be surrounding myself with like-minded people. My mom always tells me this, like, I guess you could say, in a lack of better words, birds of a feather flock together. If you're hanging out with people who tear themselves and other people down, and who talk behind people's back, and who talk about the way people look and about people's appearance and about their appearance, and then that's how you're gonna be. You're gonna always have a magnifying glass on what you look like because of what your friends or other people that you hang around with are talking about. So I stopped hanging out with people who did stuff like that. I felt like it was detrimental to my health and to just my soul. Like, I don't want to be around that. I want to be around people that are confident and that are encouraging and that are positive. And when people are all the time talking about, ooh, she don't need to have that on, or ooh, look at how she looking, or look at this and look at that and look at this, you know, you don't want to be around that, because that's just negativity, and it's just going to bring about negativity in your mind. So you want to keep your mind around positive people who are confident and loving and encouraging. The next thing is recognizing negative thoughts and replacing them with positive thoughts. So like I said, everybody has negative moments about, like, everybody has something that they do not like about themselves, and taking that negative thought that you have and turning it into something positive. Like, oh my God, I don't like my arms, so I'm going to work out and I'm going to get them to where I want them to be. I can do this because I have the power to change this about myself. Or if it's something that you necessarily can't change, say, you know what, this is what makes me me. I have a mole on my nose, and people are just like, they think it's beautiful, but I don't necessarily, I hadn't always loved it. And I just had to say, you know what, this is what makes me Octavia. Let me embrace the mole that I have on my nose, because it makes me who I am. So turning those negative thoughts into something positive, just turning it around, and don't beat yourself up about something, whether you can change it or not. All right, so the next thing would be journaling. I keep a journal. I write, I draw, I manifest. I do whatever I feel like I need to do in my journal. And it makes me feel like I have goals. I have things that I want to accomplish, and it makes me feel like I can make it another day, because these are things that I want to do. So it truly helps to keep a journal. I also, me and my family just made a vision board. Just having things that remind you of where you want to be in life really helps to love yourself and get to where you need to be. The next thing is praying and meditation. Over the quarantine months, I can definitely say that my relationship with God and my overall meditation and prayer routine has changed tremendously. That time with yourself is very important because, as we've all seen during quarantine, that rhymed, but as we've all seen, is that we had to be by ourselves. We had to deal with ourselves, and that really woke me up about a whole lot of things. So prayer and meditation has definitely helped me. And now, where I was dreading being by myself in quarantine, I'm just like, I don't mind being alone, like, because I like who I am. I like facing me. I like who God created me to be. I've also taken up exercise. That's also one of my moments that I spend with myself and with God. You know, just focusing on where I see myself in a month or 6 months or a year, just focusing on that and just saying, okay, I'm gonna take this one step at a time and get to that place I want to be. That kind of leads me into my last self-love habit, which is taking care of myself. I'm really focusing on my inner health and my outer health and making sure that this whole temple is together. Taking care of my mind is important. Like, you know, if you've been following me, I go to therapy and I have someone that I talk to. I make sure I journal. I make sure that I'm taking care of my mental health. Just focus on yourself. You know, there's so many things out here that are meant to distract us from what we really need to be focused on. And we have to be focused on ourselves. There are so many people that are dying at young ages and have been like, it's scary. It's really, really scary. So just take care of yourself, love the person that you are, regardless of your skin tone, your hair texture, your body shape. Love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, how are you going to be able to love others? And that's another video, so we're not going to get into that. But I just wanted to come on here and share some self-love habits that have gotten me through this quarantine, that have changed my life tremendously, that I'm continuing or going to continue to live by. And I know that not everybody has the same routine, and people love themselves differently and people do things differently, and I'm not trying to say do these things and you will gain self-love, but this is just what helped me. You know, like I said, I still struggle. I'm still human. I still wake up some days and I'm just like, ugh. But, you know, having these habits that I can go to when I am feeling like that. With that being said, that's all I have to say today, guys. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Give this video a like if you love yourself and if you want to continue to self-love, because that is what we should do. Also, make sure that you leave a comment below encouraging yourself. Give yourself an affirmation. I am beautiful. I am smart. I am loved. I am important. I am amazing. Just give yourself affirmation. It's okay to feel yourself a little bit. It's fine. So just go ahead and do that. But I will see you guys another day. I love you. Love yourself. Peace.